A good Tuesday morning as we work our way through June. Uh, it's going to be, hopefully it's a nice day where you are. I'm looking out the window right now and it's sunny and it's supposed to get up to 80. So it's going to be a warm day today. But as we get started today, I want to go over a few announcements and always beginning with check in on those around you. Check in on those that you know they've gone through something, they are going through right now. We have so many different things going on. And speaking of which, it's like I forgot to bring my um, image for a GoFundMe we have for somebody that's going through it right now, because our dear sis Danielle, and if you look at CJ's posts and my posts, you'll see the GoFundMe, because her little one is dealing with some medical issues. So we're trying to raise some money, because you know how it is with you go through the medical issues and you've got costs to deal with. So there's that. And then there's also the fact of just reaching out to those around you who have gone through it, or they're going through family issues, work issues, things that take us down. Because when we get down, it's hard to get back up. Sometimes I feel like people are just trying to push us down. And that's the only way to really get back at them, is to stand up. So I want you to reach out and make sure that those around you are doing fine, and don't accept the word fine. Make sure that if they say fine, understand that means feelings inward, not expressed. That's how Agape put it. Make sure you go deeper than that. Understand what's really going on. Are they really doing well, or are they wearing a mask? And I have my dear sis sponsors, Level Up Academy, the Netflix of education, the queen of publicity. She has so much that to offer out there, and I just get amazed at how it keeps growing and how much keeps getting added to what she has. When it comes to CJ, she's an educator, which is why you see how she's trying to educate others, how to lift them up, different workshops, different opportunities. She has press releases. She's got that ability to get you on her podcast, radio, live stream, TV shows. There's all of these things out there that she has access to, and then being able to write those press releases and have them go into so many different industries, and knowing that when you're working with her, she's going to make sure that what you've written, what you're telling her, what your story is, where it's at, it's ready to go. Because the last thing she wants is for you to say, okay, here it is, let's do it, and it's not ready. And there's some people out there that it's not ready, but they'll just run with it. She wants to make sure that you get the biggest impact. That's why she has Level Up Academy. That's why she talks about the importance of leveling up all the time. So check out Dr. Constance Leyland, Level Up Academy. There's so many things out there, and I just adore my sis. So what can I say? Hounds of Business. Here's a community that when you hear the phrase collaboration over competition, this is what they really focus on. Those who go into the Hounds, those who join and become pack members, they're not just there for kudos and trying to get their name out there in a way of just being one of many. They really want to work together. They really want to lift each other up. It's not one for one and that's it. So reach out to Mike Ashebrainer, the leader of the pack, and ask him, what's this Hounds about? What's going on? Tell them who sent you. Let them know that you're interested in collaboration over competition, because it's hard to deal with all of that when you're dealing with other people. You want to work with people that you like, that you can collaborate with, because you get to share. You're sharing ideas, you're sharing thoughts, you're doing things together, which reduces anxiety and helps you move from level to level. It's another way to level up. So check out the Hounds of Business. And then C&M Consulting. Here's another dear sis of mine, a leading management and advisory consulting firm that specializes in human resources, centering around empathy-driven and heart-led solutions, which is exactly how she is. And they ensure that you've got compliance with regulatory requirements while fostering a culture of trust and workplace excellence. So check her out. If you've got questions in terms of HR regulatory requirements, she's there to help. She's there to consult. She's there to help you be sure you're on the right path. Check out C&M, and that's my dear sis Danielle Manowis. And CJ and I were doing anthologies all the time. This was our most recent, or this was the last one that I published at the end of last year, and then we had Scattered Pages published in March. So we've been blessed. We never promise an international bestseller, yet we have now published 5 anthologies together, and each of them has been an international bestseller, which has been absolutely wonderful. And I need to see if my sis is ready to come up, because I got a couple of these that I want her to talk about. There she be. I'm going to start with one that's going to cover us up. But hey,
okay, perfect.
This is your favorite one. I swear, it's got to be your favorite one.
Bella, yes, it is my favorite one. It is kind of covering us, but it's okay because, we have to focus on the elixir. The reason I really want to give this a go, like, I'm probably going to be talking about it until you're sick and tired of being sick and tired. I'm actually creating content right now and business around this because I believe in the product. I've used the product. I don't promote products that I don't believe in. And I'm so blessed. I want to share with you guys, when you're looking at your stats and your algorithms and you're like, no one's watching, I'm still like, I nonchalantly said something and shared something to my girlfriend about like what's going on. She's like, CJ, I feel like you're aging reverse. Like what is happening? And I said, oh girl, I'm testing so many, like I get so many products for free right now that I have to say no to some of them. And some are not well known, like up and coming. Some are like well known, like Tarte and Anastasia from Beverly Hills, and they're trying to give me all their their stuff because I use them already, right? And it's really nice. And I get about 50 to 100 a week offer to do videos. Girls, gents, I don't have 100 hours to do just videos. Okay, it just sometimes I feel like maybe I should quit my teaching job and just do this full time. Like, what the heck, But it's that not steady income is the scary part, right? When you're so used to that steady income to pay your bills, and if you go for something that you're just not knowing if it's going to work or not. So that's what I've been trying to build so that I can help more people, especially women and girls. That's just my heart right now because I have 2 daughters, and I want to leave a legacy of kindness and compassion. And Bella Grace literally is that, like compassion for my collagen guys. Like, you know what I mean? Like it actually works from the inside of your body out, right? And I'm going to talk to Deborah today. I want the scientist who created this, like, what is this magic fountain of youth, right? Literally. So that I can actually ask him some scientific questions on why this is one of the best that I have taken really in terms of collagen and joint support and anti-inflammation. Like it's craziness. And it's the ability for them to synthesize a product that's literally needed in our body, but we're lacking as soon as we age to 30. And if Lisa is here, you know that we're losing a lot of collagen. You know that when you're perimenopausing, you're losing a lot of everything, your faculties, literally everything. And so this is actually giving it back to your body. And that's why I believe in this product. So thank you, sister.
Awesome. Yeah, I love it. And then I got another one that I just want to throw that one up because you were so excited about this one.
I am. Okay, guys, I nonchalantly, again, have this conversation with my girlfriend from the international world. And they're like, I like how you said, oh, yeah, the CEO feed spot, like emailed you. Like, CJ, do you know how amazing he is? I'm like, well, he did. He emailed me 4 times. Like, CJ, did you share it? Did you share it? You're one of them. And I'm like, not yet, but I will. And so I'm like, hey, my sister's sharing it. I'm going to share it. Guys, feed spot. Okay, if you are podcasting, if you're a podcaster, if you have a famous person that you do podcasting, I guarantee you they're on RSS and feed spot. So think of RSS as like the number one over here because they're the one who think of them as an aggregator of information. They basically disseminate all the information that's out there for podcasting. That is RSS, right? So they have like over 180 or whatever millions it is. Feed spot is one of those podcasts that they send to the aggregator so you get more. So FeedSpot's about 45 million people that are listening to FeedSpot, right? And think about higher education and how big it is throughout the world. We're not talking United States. We're talking the whole world, guys. I'm number 38 out of 80. I was like, what? Let me breathe for a moment. And the reason I'm so proud of it is because it's not something that I paid for. It's not something that I advertised. It's not something that I was looking for. It just got into my lap, literally. Right. So I am so proud. And the reason I worked so hard on getting there is because of you guys. I want to use this platform for the people who have a lot to say, but can't say it anywhere, or maybe they can say it somewhere, but that somewhere is not disseminated everywhere, which I have everywhere. And that's why I take care of where I'm at. And Miguel, what are you doing down there on the private chat? Why are you not up here with us? Like, I see Miguel.
Yeah, I saw him too. He needs to go get into those DMs and join us.
Go to
April
DMs and come back here.
April
Yes.
will be here soon. So, but until they show up, you get this one because it is happening, and we need to stay on top of this.
Yes, I haven't been posting. My girlfriend's like, CJ, you're gonna have to put it like extend it more. I'm like, maybe I will, because I have been bad on not sharing. This is my 3rd year of 50 inspirational connections on LinkedIn, but this one is special. 2 things that it's special. One is that it's now on all social media. So if you are following somebody on Instagram, if you're following somebody on Facebook, if you're following somebody on TikTok that inspires you, and this is just a stranger you don't even know, create a video about them. Last 2 times I've done this is me asking you to create a video of yourself. You can still create a video of yourself. I'm opening it up to whatever creative juices that you want because I want to inspire people to just be out there and create that video, right? Don't think too much like, oh, I don't feel good. I don't look good. People are going to judge me. Who cares? What we're looking for is the message, right? But I do want you to feel good when you're doing your video because it's going to be out there for the rest of your life, right? And beyond. I'm just saying, okay? But 50 Inspirational Connections is my way to give back to the community for amplification of message. I work so hard to make sure that the platform is everywhere so that anybody who is in my platform can be everywhere. And if you are doing civic duty, if you are doing something that's so amazing, or you got inspired by somebody, like maybe I want to actually nominate a lot of people, but that would be biased, right? Because I'd be the one who's judging. So I couldn't nominate people I want. I'm like, wait, I got like 10 already I want to nominate that I've seen on the community. But let's say that you want to nominate Susana. Susana can't be nominated because she's my ambassador. Okay, so it's just an example. You can't nominate an ambassador, guys, because that means they're already there. They're the community leaders. I'd be like, okay, or maybe I will nominate Homer. right? And I will say this would be something that I would say on the application, because if you do the QR code, you can scan the application. Hey, I want to nominate Homer. These are my information, and I want to nominate Homer because Homer is always showing up to Level Up Academy shows. He also shows up for the Hounds of Business community. But most importantly, I was so inspired by the courage that Homer did on the last book, an anthology. For him to stand up his ground and said, I don't care about the haters anymore. I don't care about them taking my power, my voice of defining who I am when I know exactly who I am, but I'm so afraid of judgment. But to heck with the judgment, I'll give you all middle fingers. I'm going to claim my power. I'm going to say who I am in a big way, because we were number one international best-selling authors, right? In a big way. That is inspirational. That is inspirational to me. Okay. So that's how I would nominate Homer. And I would create a video, for my nomination on Homer if I get picked. You will only create the video if you get picked in that 50 inspirational, because I don't want you to create all these videos and then it doesn't go anywhere anyways. So just do the application. If you get an email from me in about, I don't know, 3 weeks from now, I will then say, hey, create that video of inspiration, because I will show that off to the world on why you got inspired. So, and it will be on my Instagram as well as YouTube, guys.
Everywhere you want to be. Definitely scan that QR code. I'll leave it there for a couple more seconds and then I'll pull it down so we can see who's here as we wait for a couple of the other authors to show up, because I know a couple of them can't make it because of one had to work and the other one, well, there's just no way they could have expected what they had to go through for the last week and a half. And I know they're getting ready to take little one for another visit. So, but let's go to, hi, and then Sis. And so Sis will be here soon, because I knew she was coming in sometime soon here. And all these amazing people. I love to talk about Lisa. So when Lisa shows up, and I got the chance, it's like you want somebody, especially ladies, when it comes to perimenopause and menopause, you have questions, she's got answers. And I love the way she is so knowledgeable and the way she talks with people on the topic. And then also, the guys aren't free from this either, even though they might have thought they were, because andropause is a thing, and she knows that one too. So check out Lisa, and if you got questions, please reach out to her on those. And Miguel needs to get from backstage, from wherever he's hiding to backstage so he can come up to the front stage. And we got Homer here. And then, hey, look who else is popping in from Facebook.
We will see you in
40 minutes-ish.
Yeah.
always with an ish.
Ish, yes.
But because today's topic is it's owning your voice. It's owning what it means to let me see if I can do that. I forgot how to do this. You got to walk me through it. Since we got the time, let's do the GoFundMe real quick.
I try to put it on the comment section, but it says that I can't. So somehow I'm locked down on sharing comments on YouTube with the link.
Well, let me see if I can. Let me go over here and good. He's all right. We lit a fire under him, so he's on his way.
That's awesome, sister. I'll be right back.
There's the GoFundMe. So this is for our dear Sis. I'll just pull Sis down right now. So when I talked about Danielle and what she's going through with her family, this is the GoFundMe site that we have set up for her. And we've been amazed at the people that have just given to them, because this is so hard. They've gone through so much in the last year and a half, and to basically not know what's going to happen, but it's medical. You make sure that you take care of your family and hope that the Lord takes care of everything after that. So that's why we set this up for them. That's what the GoFundMe page is, to get them here a chance to make sure some of those unexpected costs get covered, because everybody knows the times are tight right now. It can be difficult, and I want to make sure that everybody is taken care of as best we can. So many of us are going through different things, and so it's just another way for us to give back. But as I'm waiting for everybody, this is one of those days where everybody's got different things going on. CJ will be back. Miguel says he's on his way. April's supposed to be here. But the whole thing we're looking at is what it means. And okay, here's one sis who's up, so I'm just dragging her up now. Hey, April.
Hello. I am back. Hey, this is what life's all about, right? I had to get to the dentist and I was running back to be on this live with you, sister. Thank you so much. And this is the first time I've used this virtual background. Big shout out to Sabrina Johnson for helping me out with this. Is it reverse to you or is it normal?
What I see is normal.
Okay. Because it's the first time I've ever used anything with words, and I'm like, oh my goodness, is this live or is it Memorex, right?
And there's CJ.
Sister Constance.
So all that's missing is Miguel. But the way I want to look at this, because this is owning your voice. There's a lot of people who they aren't sure about writing. They've got a story. Maybe they want to write their story, but they don't know where to start, or they don't even know if their story's good enough. It's like, why would I try this? Which means they're not owning their voice. They're letting somebody else. They're letting their own fears own their voice by silencing it. And what I've loved about these anthologies and everybody that's written in them, and the over 80 stories that we've had in anthologies for the past, through all of these, including the one that's going to come out, it's been so much fun to watch those. It's the first time. And to watch that trepidation go from just that they're scared, what do I say, is it going to be okay, to once it's been written, ready for the next one. And so I'm curious with you, April, how was it for you?
There was the first one that I wrote from boxes, right? Was The Lion's Roar, and that was my first ever sharing my story of how I found my voice and being able to express my needs to be heard. And so I was a little apprehensive about that. What would my husband think? Because he was the main subject of he helped me, basically, that situation helped me to find my voice. And it came out as a lion's roar. Hey, Miguel. And so this time around, I wasn't as fearful, although it was, am I saying it the right way so people will understand what I'm expressing here? This grief, grief is something we don't really talk about that much. We tend to hide it away. It's something that we don't express in the Western culture that much. And so by me sharing about gratitude, having gratitude from grief, right? My chapter. Oh, and I froze. So grief is an invitation for growth. That's my chapter. So just being able to find a way to express it easier so that way people will receive it. And Sister CJ was amazing. She was my editor this time, and she really helped me just narrow it down a little bit more so it was easier to receive. And
Right.
that's what I love about working both with you and CJ is it's very helpful, very gentle, not changing my language, not changing the message, but just helping me to see how to streamline it just a little bit more. That's what it is. And that's why I loved being part of this anthology.
It's been a blast having you writing with us and seeing that change. And I'll kind of bring that to you, Miguel, now that you're here. It's like great to have you here. And I was talking about how that owning your voice for so many, it's difficult for them to feel like they can write, that they should write anything, even though they want to. And so that, especially that first time around, can be really have a lot of trepidation, have a lot of concerns and worries. And I think with us, both of you are first time authors, right? So I kind of want to get your feel on that, Miguel, of how your experience was for Rebel and it just keeps going.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you, Susanna. Hi, CJ. Hello, April. Finding my voice for me, I already had the concepts and the materials, because it was going through my personal introspection throughout my life. So I've been accumulating this material for a while. So for me, the voice was always there, but it was just either sitting in a notebook or sitting in a desktop file, and it served me at the time, but then it had no purpose further than that. And then so it was a piece of me, something I've created that really was not going anywhere. And then so when the opportunity was presented to me in Rebel with a Cause, I was like, yes, I knew right away what I was going to write about. Um, and then, so I guess in my case, it was an example of someone having that voice and that message to say, but just not the outlet, not the medium, not the way I say it, the social networking, cultural capital that one needs to transcend their message beyond themselves. And then so that's what I was able to get, and that's what I was able to obtain. And in me, I'm an academic, so I also needed those blinders onto where know the audience, to know the
Right.
audience. It's a general audience. And then so I appreciate that as well. So that's been interesting for me because I'm playing with my own voice, as you say, through the literature and in these revisions. And then so it's more of a practice of fine tuning your own instrument with along with others. And then I want to share what I learn and help. Thanks.
Absolutely. And it is something that's been interesting to see in all the authors, because everybody is different in where they're coming from and where they're going into these anthologies. And you brought up a good point of you have a style because you're used to academic writing. And when it comes to the academic writing, it's different than something that's going to go to kind of like everybody to read. So I know there's been that transition, and I know somebody else who's had to deal with that transition too, and that would be my dear sis, because again, she's got that academic. And I remember the first few anthologies that we wrote in together, and you had that same kind of a struggle. It's like, I'm trying to make it for the generic populace reader, and you still have that a specific
Yeah.
you're dealing with.
Technical, I think it's because it's ingrained in you. You know, when you're like an engineer and then you're like, oh, unstructure that and just paint, whatever. And I'm like, huh? It doesn't work like that for me, right? Because it's we're so used to structure in academia. And but I can do both now because I can do academic publishing. So I'm good. Speaking of academic publishing, we're on the top 10 for editing now, guys. So it's almost there. Hang in there. We're gonna get our books, and I'm hoping we get to go and win that 100 grand so we can have 6 different languages conversion. I'm still, I keep telling people I'm a sore loser. You cannot lose anything with me. I am gonna win. How do I win? That's the question. How do I lose? No. How do I win? Because that's what I'm gonna be. I'm gonna win that money. I love that Miguel and April are repeat authors, because not only we get to know them and their inner thoughts, we also get to know their style of writing and how they progress from one anthology to another. Like, I am so proud to both of you, really. And I also wanted to see like that voice, you know me, and synonyms, right? Like, and also wanting to see like, what does V stand for? For me, V is validate your story. You don't need a stage to be worthy of a story, right? You acknowledge that you survived something. We all survived something. No more shrinking your testimony to comfort someone else's insecurity. Who cares? O for voice is own your truth without apology. We speak from scars because we have it, not from open wounds. Because when you speak from an open wound, sometimes it's visceral. Sometimes it's nasty because we're still hurt, right? But say it how it really is with no filters, but be cognizant that when you're writing, sometimes little nuances and the little mystery goes a long way. Susanna deals with that with a lot, and so do I, right? I for voice is identify what silenced you. Was it fear? Was it culture? Was it your family? Was it abuse or was it rejection? Name the silence to break the silence. Healing begins with honesty, and you have to be honest with yourself and comfortable with yourself so that you don't get that heebie-jeebies when you put the story out there because you're not comfortable yet. And then C for voice is claim your platform, whether it's a podcast, a boardroom, a family, a table, a live stream, right? Or a blog. You belong. Don't wait for an invitation, guys. Walk into the room like you are the microphone. And then E is empower others through expression. Your voice is the key to someone else's prison. When you speak, like April, when you speak, you give others permission to write. I love your ripple effect conversation. I think about that all the time. Whether I'm doing bad things, sometimes I'm like, ooh, the gremlin side of CJ comes out, and I get really vindictive because I get bratty because like my only child syndrome kicks in, and I'm like, ooh, I can do that. Wait, CJ, ripple effect. I don't want to get a negative ripple effect. You get into my head, okay? This is not ministry, guys. This is called mentorship, right? I'm still learning with everybody else. I learn more than I speak, but I notice that I learn so quickly and my deduction is so fast lately, and I can put 2 and 2 together with the puzzle, and apparently faster than a medical doctor. I was like, wait, what? I did, like Susanna and Danielle makes fun of me all the time. But like, I just see it. And Miguel, I'm so proud of you from the moment we met through Laura's college, by the way, right? And I felt so bad. I'm like, okay, I know it wasn't my fault, but I'm going to take it up to the chin and I'm going to step up because I belong in this organization and I want to make sure that he doesn't have a bad taste in his mouth, that all of these people in this institution is this. I will take it up to my chin and do it. And Miguel gave me permission to say, okay, you can help me. And we're still working. By the way, Miguel, guess who's going to be teaching at Laura soon? Not me, but I'm already there. Guess who?
I is it Susanna? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm so proud of her. I know. And slowly I might let you, it's not let you, I might refer you. Okay. I don't can't do let. You can't control people. But I might refer you in there because they do need somebody who has a master's and you're so good at that. So watch out for those emails that I'll be sending you. I always look for opportunities for my people that I trust. Because here's the thing with voice and owning your voice. We're so busy being out there because it's like a kid in the candy store. Oh my God, I need sugar. And then at the end of the day, you can literally only eat 3. Okay. Like, be honest. When you're hungry, you order everything. And then you're like, oh, I can't eat everything. And then you feel bad. It's the same thing when you're doing podcasting, anthology, or anything. You just go out like crazy. But reputation is everything, guys. Don't latch yourself to be just everywhere because you're going to go nowhere. You need to be strategic on who you're going to work with and the people that consistently show up and you trust. I will give and slowly open those opportunities for people that I feel in my heart have my best interest and doesn't smudge my reputation. Okay, sister, take it over before I talk more.
Well, thank you.
Oh, my sister's so good at that. I know. It's that natural. It's that natural podcaster that you have that can just go. It's the teacher in you that's always finding ways to instruct. And I'm almost afraid to wonder how long until I start turning words into poetry or whatever it is you're doing. Every time it's like, oh, I'm going to take voice now and I'm going to make it this. It's like, I've got them written. Yes, I know that's coming too. I know that. The artiste is on the roll. But I've loved this and I want to get from everybody an idea of what it is about writing, about owning your own voice, what this has been like for these anthologies. Because again, if I don't think either of you have written anything like an anthology, anything about writing your personal story out there until you started working with us. Am I right on that for both of you? Okay, so really for you guys, this was the first time. So you were newbies going into this. And what was that process? What was it as you started writing? I mean, you've talked about writing the story, but I want to get into the writing aspect, what it was like, and what some people may not even understand or realize, how emotional it can get writing that story. So I'm going to let April start with this one.
Yes, thank you. I see that CJ, yes, put something in the chat. There's no questioning about what I do and who I am, as my business is living with intention. So seriously, both of you, my intention was to be able to speak my truth and know that I'm creating a sanctuary also for others, as CJ alluded to earlier. The transformation has it's freedom. It's moving past my own, even though we've done all the work, right? Even us here and others, there's always layers to work through. And so recognizing that old BS, the belief systems that get in my way of second guessing, is anyone even going to care what I have to write? How is this even going to matter anyway? But it was from my heart. So it's me sitting down saying, what is my intention to write? It's just not to throw something out there and to be part of an anthology. I take it's a lot deeper than that for me. And I had no idea what would happen after, the Beyond Boxes, when I ordered my hard copy and I left it out on the table. We're in a RV right now, so there's very little space, right? And so I had read it and I just left it there, and my husband picked it up. He didn't know what I was writing about. I told him I was writing something, and I said, do you want me to share it with you? He goes, oh, I'll read it when it comes out. So he picked it up, and I walked out into the living area, and he was putting the book down, and he had tears in his eyes. And this is a veteran, a Navy guy. And he said, I had no idea what you went through. And he said, and I didn't realize that I was such a, I'll just bleep that out. And I said, yeah, it was hard. It was hard, but I followed my heart, and I followed what I needed to do. And this is how I, move through it. And it really actually brought us closer together. I wasn't too fearful about him judging me. It was more of, wow, he had to read it in this way, and everybody else's stories too. He read their stories too. And it really made an impact on him. After 33 years of marriage, people.
I love that.
We're still learning about each other. We're still learning. Yes, CJ?
No, I love that. A sister and I said the same thing at the same time. I love that. Jinx, you owe me a soda, Sister Susanna. She said the same thing.
Yeah, you can reflect it.
No, I asked that question about transmutation, because I think a lot of people think that transmutation and transformation are the same, and they're not. The transformation is more visible with change like behavior and mindset and lifestyle, right? It's more of the outer shift. Transmutation is what you do,
Yes.
Whether you know it or not. It's an inner alchemy. It's that energetic or spiritual shift, changing that essence into something. And that's the reason why I asked that question of transmutation rather than transformation, because it's inner to out. And within that inner out, you actually transform, hence your husband and your relationship. So I love that.
Exactly. And you just never know. It is the ripple effect. So when we write from that space, from our heart space, as Miguel, I know you do as well, and just trusting in the process, trusting in our higher power, whomever you believe that to be, and knowing that we are here, we're interconnected. This is what humans, we're connected. And that's that transmutation that you're talking about, CJ. And that's the ripple effect in action. And I love that how you say legacy, right? This is expanding beyond my lifetime. How amazing is that?
Well, I want to take this to Miguel now. And, since CJ has gone through the motion of writing this, it's like what I talked about, how you were feeling through it, and how emotional it can be writing that personal story, because a lot of people don't know. They don't realize that when you start writing what you've been through, how things can pop up that you didn't expect, how thoughts and emotions can hit you in ways that you thought you were prepared for, and they whack you out. And then with CJ's note, and it didn't quite all go into one, so it's like at the end of it, she's talking about how do you protect your truth when writing about deeply personal or painful experience. So it all comes together in what I started, and you get to add this to it because it's CJ.
For for me, it's been about the messaging. That's how I protect myself a little bit. Is it's about the messaging. I'm only the medium because of the narrative is coming from me. It's a personal story, so I'm just sharing of myself. And it was a while ago, during this time, that's what God had told me, Miguel, share of yourself. You need to share of yourself. Don't be isolated. Despite the contrary and everything in myself telling me to the contrary, just be alone, be alone, be alone. But I had to challenge that. And then, so for me, it's about the messaging, and then what I wanted to convey, like everyone said, coming from the heart space, um, was trauma and communal trauma, which was new to me personally and individually. And then learning about mechanisms of trauma outside of the self forced me to kind of seek mitigating factors to my own personal trauma. Because then it wasn't just about me, the individual, it was societal trauma. And then, so then when I thought about that, then I'm viewing this as a snippet of that. And I'm included in that snippet of it. It's lived experience. And then that's how I was able to share the story. Um, my concern with the story was maybe it would, apart from the graphicness of it, it might have been too local to, geographically, but the homelessness is universal, trauma is universal, and I think that's where the power lies in it, despite any of intricacies of myself. Thanks.
I love it. And you're right. I mean, you can worry about it being too local because it's in New York. Yet that same scenario is probably playing out in every big city across the country.
Yeah.
So it's not, they can say it local, but in many ways it's national and probably even global. And Sis is, well, yeah, I know the butterfly one really well. But how about you, Sis? Because I know with you, I think everything that you've written, and it's with you and I, we've had different emotional experiences within writing too, because of, with Rebel especially, with what happened going into it, it really whacked both of us in so many ways. But I feel like everything that we've written in these anthologies has really had that emotional pull on us that we didn't expect until we hit it.
Yeah, and I think it's our subconscious taking over our conscious, to be honest with you. Like, that's how I'm feeling. Like, we wrote Beyond Boundaries, which I'm so excited. I went to my local Barnes and Nobles and I'm like, oh my gosh, let me find this book. And it's like, oh, it's here. I'm like, it is? I was actually like questioning myself. And I went, I'm like, oh, there it is in personal healing. And if you look at our journey, at least for me, when I look at the journey, like Beyond Boundaries, moving beyond boxes, you see this beyond, right? And then Rebel with a Cause, right? And then, and then Scattered Pages is what we ended, and then Now Grateful. If you look at the whole thing, it's really about healing. Look at the titles that we've created, right? Why do we go beyond boundaries? Because sometimes it's necessary. Those people are born with just like people told me I was born with a microphone and they just couldn't see it because it's invisible, because I get in trouble all the time since I was little, literally. And I think what it is that I really truly believe that even though your story and your journey and your adversity is personal to you, it's still universal to everybody, because everybody's doing it. However, some people are more aligned with what they're doing, so they heal faster because they're intentional on healing. Some people like to perpetuate drama in their own selves and then complain about it, is because they're not there yet. They're trying to heal, but they don't know how. But their ego's basically telling them, it's okay, just use that platform. Even social media perpetuates that. Look at who's going viral. All the people that are negative are going viral. And the people who are quiet because they know better, they're not going viral, right? Our society itself, if you look at the anthropology part of that, because anthology is all about collecting voices. That's what we do, right? And anthropology is all about cultural context. We have so many cultural contexts that we can do. Our human experience is an anthropology, right? The rituals, the pain, the joy, the belief system, right? BS. And why they matter, right? When you tell your story, you become the primary source, literally. There is such a call to self-plagiarism, APA 7th, guys, okay? I'm just saying. But a woman writing her journey isn't just healing. She's preserving, like what Miguel says, the emotional and social DNA of her generation, right? When an immigrant mother shares how she rebuilt her life, when a nurse details how she fought a broken system to protect her patients, when a young man writes what he found his purpose for being silenced in the moment of despair, found God to actually help through his own subconscious. Miguel, I'm so proud of you. Right? I am studying you people. I'm like, I am studying you people. Maybe I'll do my anthology of anthology, and it's called Anonymous. Also lately, I've been told I'm dealing with my trauma and I'm packing it every day. I've been told I can't draw since I was little, and they're like, you're good at memorizing and public speaking, so stick with that. You can't draw. So I've always just said, okay, I can't draw, which I can't. I still can't, by the way. But I bought this pencil. It's called Blackwing. Okay, guys, they're not my sponsors. Okay, not everything I share is a sponsor. It's called Blackwing. One pencil cost $40 because they went bankrupt at one point, and then somebody else bought them. Okay, this sharpener is $20 or $25 on Amazon, and I bought it. And I'm cheap, if you know me. And I was like, wait, why am I paying this pencil if I'm not using it? Oh, I'm so proud of you. I am so proud of you, Miguel. So I'm using it. I'm drawing things, but the best artist in my house right now is my daughter. She's a genius in art. And she got offended that I didn't ask for help. And I said, because you're always too busy for me. She's like, Mom, I'm so happy that you're drawing with me. And now you understand the pain of trying to do that perfection. I was like, yeah, it is kind of frustrating that I can't draw an eyeball. I can. The circle is like crooked, like she has cataracts like me. And she started laughing. But I love that we're unpacking our story, and I still have some doubts in the back of my head, like, am I doing this right way? But at the same time, people like you guys who sees yourself to be part of our journey and to really see like I can make a difference even in my own community makes my heart flutter so fast. I love it. And my sister right here who said yes to my craziness. Thank you, sister.
It's been so much fun, and what I love about what we've written and these different anthologies is this: we've been able to help people to basically see what it's like to look at life beyond boundaries, so they can thrive in life's gray zone, which is where all the colors are. And doing so allows them to move beyond boxes in a way that they're able to go on a journey to self-discovery. And when they do that, so many of them realize they're a rebel with a cause. They're able to go against the grain so that they can thereby find belonging in a world of resistance. And when they do that, they realize there's so much out there in terms of scattered pages. There's stories from everywhere, but when you bring it all together, then you bring it together and you can be grateful with a heart wide open. What do you think?
Because we're moving beyond boundaries and boxes and crushing it. At the end, you're pulling a CJ. I love it.
Oh, that was awesome, Susanna. I love how you wove those titles all into that. That was perfect.
I started weaving those at the end of last year when it's like they fit together, and CJ's seen it, but CJ's also done it backwards and made it work too. She started with Against the Grain and went backwards, and it made perfect sense.
Yeah. I have a project that I wanted to do with the 50 Inspirational Connections right now. It's called Anthro Stories, the human truths that shapes us. Think about all the amazing stories of inspiration that we can do. You know those book of Soup Kitchen or whatever, Soup for the Soul or whatever book? But we're going to do it in anthology form, in the human truths that shapes us. But we're going to share stories that has no name. So there's no credit, but just the 50 inspirational thoughts and videos that they submitted. And then we could just write, right? And then we can put the people's name on a separate page so they can have to like word search, guess whose story is this? Oh, I love that. I'm in love with my own thoughts right now.
That is so fun. I love that idea.
I don't have to turn plot on to get this down because you just did it right here and it's recorded.
Think about it. Like,
it's the collective consciousness, that soup, right? Everybody's contributing their essence into the soup. And then that's the nourishment that we receive through. Oh, that's amazing. I love that idea.
Right? No name so that like we don't know. And then we'll put all the names of the people that we use their stories in. And then you have to figure out like, oh, was that page 2 from April? Or is this page 8 from Miguel? Oh, I love that. Oh my gosh. Okay, I think we're going to do that. Okay.
And then you could do a whole vote thing too, right? Like make it more interactive. Oh, we could keep on going on this one. That's amazing. Yeah. I love your brain. I love your brain.
We could add reflections to the anthologies, having each after each chapter, the person can add a personal reflection, kind of like they're adding their own to the work. Maybe like a second version of the book.
So what you're talking about is just adding blank pages for them to write, and the reader gets to reflect on what was there.
Yes.
Oh, I can put line pages. I do notes and journals already. Okay, we're doing it. You guys are voluntold. So like,
I'm glad to be part of it.
Oh, that's amazing, Miguel. I love that.
So much more we could do right now, and yet we have to close it up because we're so close to the end. It's like
we do have another meeting.
We could go for another hour or two the way this is going. There's so much out there. I love it. And I love having you guys here. And it just, the energy that I feel in this group is amazing. And we're missing 2 of our authors, but they fit into the group perfectly. So it's like, they're still here because their personalities and energy fit right here the way we are right now. So with that, you guys, I want you to just do a really quick, because we're like at the limit and I know we're supposed to go somewhere. So a really quick last comments.
Love you guys.
April.
Last comments. Be true to yourself. Be true to yourself.
Be well and take care of yourselves. Be kind to yourself.
Awesome. This has been a lot of fun. It's been lots of information, lots of ideas, lots of learning, and now, unfortunately, it's like top of the hour, time to go. But
can't wait for the book to be released. When's the release date again?
Soon.
Okay.
Soon. I mean, you got to remember it with a lot of things. Sometimes you can make a schedule and everything's go perfect. Other times life gets in the way, and so just like in the army, you fire and adjust, and away you go. And I think they probably do that in the Navy too. You fire and
Yes, and the
adjust.
cavalry will show up. Yes.
It's what we do.
Thank you.
So thank you, everyone, and everybody else. I'll see you next week. And man, CJ looks like she's having a blast right now. Say goodbye, sis.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye. Bye, Miguel.